Okay, I am going to work on some Kokum dolls this morning. I actually don't even have an example to show you about what I mean by Kokum doll. So Kokum doll is a Cree term. It's kind of like slang, from what I understand. Nokum is how you say grandmother in Cree, which is First Nation language here in Canada. And Kokum is another way of saying grandmother. From what I understand, it's sort of a slang word, but so that's what these are. These are Kokum kits. That's what I call them. You can call them mini spirit doll kits, but I sell these. They are cute little mini spirit doll kits, essentially. And I'm going to open one up and show you what's inside each kit, what's inside this kit, and I'm going to actually make the doll for this kit using the supplies that this comes with, if I can get it open. The purpose of this video is so that if people want to buy these kits, they can come to YouTube and watch the tutorial. So in your kit, you're going to get 2 doll structures. So you get 2 clay faces on a popsicle stick. So this is going to be like the body, the structure of the body. And then you'll get a little bit of fabric for each doll. And they're super easy to put together. You also get a little bit of random ribbon or string or yarn, whatever, and some embellishments. These are small dolls, so you don't need a lot, so this is plenty to work with. And you can just tie things together. You don't really need to have a glue gun, but a glue gun is helpful. So what I like to do, so one thing you can also do before we even wrap this is you could put some sacred symbols on the stick. You could write a word. You could even grab a little pouch with some medicines in it. That's something I've done too, where I've taken like a little bag like this, and this one's kind of sewn together. And I don't have my medicines available right now. They're all upstairs because I had used them for a medicine teaching workshop this past, or was it this past week or last week? Last week. So another thing you could do is you could put some herbs in here inside the bag, and then you could stick your doll in there. You could tie this up, and that could be the base or the foundation of your doll too, where you just make it like a little medicine doll. But I'm not going to do that with this one, just giving you guys some other ideas. I'm just going to take some fabric, whatever's in here, and I always like to start with these little guys, these little ones, by making a little bit of a hood. And I'm going to make sure that I'm in frame here. I think I'll just zoom in just a little bit more. So yeah, you could just do that. And then, like I said, you can tie these. Whoops. Sometimes they're a little bit tricky. You just have to play with them a little bit sometimes. You could tie these. You could keep wrapping them up. And you could use glue as well, which I do like to do. There's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of glue for security. Some people kind of like to just do everything all natural, and that's fine. But you know, everything comes from Mother Earth. Everything is made. Everything has a spirit in it, so it doesn't really matter. But I do understand the natural thing, because I'm just gonna add a little glue because I like that kind of stuff too. So, but there isn't anything wrong with adding a little bit of glue. Okay. Now, these are air dry clay faces. Keep that in mind. Glue is not going to stick to them. So, yeah, just be aware of that, because some people don't believe me and then do it anyways, and then they wonder why it doesn't stick. So I don't know, maybe they don't listen when I'm talking, I don't know, which is very possible. Okay. You can definitely set an intention too when you're making these dolls. And this is just an instructional video just for to go with the kits that I'm making, but basically the teaching around spirit dolls is different based on the tribe, and I don't have any teachings because a lot of our culture was lost. Teachings were lost, and when it comes to variety of different subjects, one of them in particular is doll making, because I have done some research on it. Typically Native women, or Cree women, because I'm Cree Métis, they used to make buckskin dolls, and they would gift them to children. I mean, they would give them to children for sure, but they would gift them to, if they were married to a European husband, they would gift them to their family members as a gift. And see, this is a lot of fabric. Like, you really don't need all this fabric, but I'll take some of it. And then they would give them to children to teach them roles and responsibilities, much the same as how we do today with our kids. You know, kids use dolls to role play being mom and dad and all that stuff, and it was the same for kids back then too. And so I mean, I could stop there, that's fine there, but that's just the foundation. I always include this kind of like felty fleece type of material in my kits if I can, because it makes a great foundation. Not only is it lightweight, it is a little bit thicker than regular fabric, so it makes it easier to get the body built up quicker. So yeah, like, I don't know about, I'm just playing here, I'm just seeing what works. I don't know what other kinds of dolls Cree women or other, I don't know if men made dolls, probably, maybe there was some who did. I don't know what other kind of dolls they made, because there's not a lot of information out there. You know, as you know, the government, you know, tried really hard to destroy our culture. So a lot of that information is lost, but a lot of it's coming back and it's being revitalized. And I've been doing a lot of research on doll making, and I continue to learn and understand more about it. Mind you, I'm not an expert. I'm just an artist who's passionate about what I do. So that's just my cat. She has been checked out. Don't worry, she's not sick. She doesn't get attention. She cries, and she's got full bowl up there of food. Sorry, I'm just playing here because I'm not really liking the way this is kind of going on. So maybe, okay, I think, okay, I am just gonna like stretch this a little bit. Okay, I think I like that better. Probably are like, I don't know what you just did, but there. I just was having trouble trying to get this fringy part in the front where I wanted it. So you can tell oftentimes what tribe a doll originated from based on the materials used. So, you know, cree Métis dolls, you know, were often made with buckskin, so people knew based on those materials. They could kind of guess where the doll is from. Corn husk dolls, associated more with the Iroquois. Kachina dolls associated more with the southern, into the States there. The Hopi, for example, I think it's Hopi that make the Kachina dolls. And they use cottonwood roots, and they have their own teachings around that. So you just need to go to the different tribes to learn and explore more about. Just gonna put a little bit of glue there and close this up on the bottom. But you can definitely do more here. Just be creative. There's no right or wrong way to make these dolls. So yeah, I came up with this idea for spirit dolls when I had cancer, and it's just a great way to connect within, like all art is. And dolls are so wonderful because they're so much like us, right? So they really do kind of provide a nice template for understanding more about ourselves and our physical body, even if we're going through things. That things can show up on the doll. But with the Kokum dolls, I basically made these to teach people about how important our elders are. You know, a lot of us have been colonized and taken a step away from our traditional teachings, and we stick our elders in care facilities, and that's totally fine. No guilt there intended, just saying that in the past we always used to take care of our elders and we held them in high regard, but through colonization we've lost a lot of that, a lot of those teachings, which is that when we are young they take care of us, and when they're older we take care of them. But nowadays, because of colonization, like I said, a lot of us live in our own houses. We're separated from our villages or communities, doing our own thing, and we think that's healthy, and it's not healthy because we are isolating ourselves from the community, and it takes a village. So when someone's sick, and when our elders get older and they age, we need to be able to help each other. How can we do that when we're all living in separate houses? We're all so caught up in the programming and our way of living, which is very unhealthy, and we have forgotten that we need each other. And we need to be there for each other and help each other. And these Kokum dolls are a way to remind us that our elders are sacred, our elders are important. They carry teachings and wisdom and experience, and we need to listen to them, we need to support them, and no one likes to be stuck somewhere away from their family, but in some cases, unfortunately, it does have to be done, and that is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. I'm just simply talking about tradition and things that used to be sort of commonplace, which is not as much anymore. Because things have gotten harder. We've all been colonized in ways like that. We're not able to care for our elders like we used to, because we don't have our village. So how do we repair repair our communities? How do we come back to that traditional way of living? It's not easy. We're all stuck in our trauma. A lot of us, we don't want to make changes. We don't want to open our hearts and connect with people, even though we know it would be good for us. We want to self-isolate because we've been living that way for so long, but it's not healthy. You know, a lot of us are suffering in silence. Parents, we are struggling at being parents because we don't have the community support. Traditionally, women would support each other in the role of parenting and help each other, and it took a village to raise a child. And we're all stressed out trying to pay for our bills and get groceries and stuff, and our kids are needing us, and we're not able to be there because we can't even afford to take care of the basics. Like, things are getting pretty crazy out there in the world, and it's time that we start forming our little tribes and communities and coming together to support each other, because we're going through a spiritual transformation right now, which is prophesized in our teachings. And so I'm just gonna use this as a scarf, a little Kokum scarf. These are not new teachings to us. These have been prophesized for a long time. I remember first reading about the New Earth teachings. Gosh, it's been a while. Many, many years ago, I read this Navajo healer's book called On the Edge Tip of a Miracle. And he spoke about these times that were coming. Very, very interesting book. Okay, I think I like that. So let's add some glue to keep it in place. And everything that he wrote about in that book has come to pass. And that was years before COVID ever happened. So very interesting times we're living in right now. So yeah, that's what these Kokum dolls are all about, is teaching about, I might not even use all the fabric, but teaching about this stuff and teaching how can we heal our communities and come together, basically. And how do we prioritize our elders? And it's not to have guilt, because we are living in very unique times. Don't ever think that I make these videos to guilt people, because I don't. We had to put my mom, consider putting my mom in a care facility because her needs were so high we couldn't manage it at home. Sometimes you have to do things like that. There's nothing wrong with that. She was not happy about it. but we couldn't do it. Like she was just too high needs. So it was really sad. But she never did end up going into the facility because she could never get out of the hospital long enough to be in a facility because her needs were too high. She needed to be in the hospital. So, okay, I think I like that. Let's put some glue here. I'm going to pull this part back down. Okay, what did I just do? I had it a certain way, but now I seem to have messed it up a bit. All right, well, that's okay. We'll just leave it as is. See, and you can stick things in here too, like if you have a little imitation flower, you could put that in there. Like I have these that I could put on little butterflies, like you could paint these. There's flowers in there. Let's use this red. What do you call this stuff? I know there's a name for it, but I can't remember what it's called. Oops. So there we go. Kind of made a mess back there with the glue, but that's all right. Let's see here. I don't really want to cover up. Am I still recording? Okay. Hopefully it won't cut off of me. It has a tendency to do that. I'm not really liking how that. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's try this again. I think what I'll do is I'll just snip some of this off. And I'll just do this. There. It's a little bit better. Yeah, I'm going to cut that part off though. Okay. So these are all just fabric scraps, so they're not all going to be the same. Whatever you get in your kit is what you get in your kit. Of course, you can always add to it. And put a little bit of glue here. Okay, and then I didn't use those ones. You can just close this up with some glue too if you want. Or another thing I like to do, which maybe I'll just show you just so you can see what I like to do, is like maybe I'll grab some ribbon or some other kind of, maybe I'll use this one, and I'll just put some glue down. And then I'll take my ribbon or trim or whatever it is whatever I have, and then I like to just kind of do a little wrap around the bottom like that. Yeah, I think like that's good. And then that's it. So you can do that. Okay, then you take your little bag of goodies And in here, like this, every bag is different but similar. You get some fake flowers and some bling. And then you can put a flower on there if you want it. And let's see, am I still recording? Okay, good. And there you go. That's it. Of course, you could add more to it. If you wanted to put your butterfly on there too, you could paint that up and put that on, but that's essentially it. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Cat talk. I like that simplicity, but you can definitely give her wings or whatever you want to do. So that is a Kokum Spiritual Kit. And this one I think I'm just going to leave as is. I like it just the way she is. You can put words on there. You can add a little medicine pouch on the side, whatever you want. But that's the Kokum Spiritual Kit. All right. Thanks for watching.